Hi guys, and welcome to this simple CSS video. This is Jamie from System22 and GreatWebDesign.com. In this video we're just going to discuss and demonstrate the CSS padding attribute. I've just built this simple demo bootstrap website here. If you want to download it to practice with, you can download it from a link below. So what is padding? Well, padding is the amount of space an element has to float in. It's what you give it to actually cushion it from the outside element, the one that it's encased in. So I'll just set this blue section up here. I'm going to give it a bit of padding top and bottom just so we can demonstrate this a little easier. So if I hit F12 and bring the inspector up, I'm using Google Chrome here. If you want to follow along with this, I suggest you use the same. It's great for editing. You can do non-destructive CSS editing, get your ideas down and then copy it over to your style sheet to make it permanent without actually physically changing your site. Okay, so let's select this blue section, which is here. I'm just going to give it a bit of padding. I actually want the row, which is right here. You can see as you mouse over certain elements, it highlights them for you up in the browser window there. This little row, I'm just going to push it down, give it a bit of padding so we can work on it in the middle. I'll change the background color of this. So I've got that row. I'm just going to give it some padding of top and bottom. If it's one attribute, it's just top and bottom. So I'm going to give it 100 pixels top and bottom. And if you add a second, if you leave it as one attribute, it's going to give you 100 pixels padding each side. If I select that, you can see with that sort of purpley sort of square, that's the amount of padding it's given. 100 pixels top, right, bottom and left. If you give it another attribute, we'll give it 10. It's going to give it 100 pixels top and bottom, 10 pixels left and right. If we just highlight it again, you can see it's got 10 pixels left, right, 100 pixels top and bottom. So that'll do for us at the moment. I'm not going to save this. This is just so we can demonstrate this. I'm going to grab one of these columns here. I've got 3 columns. And I'm going to quickly give it a white background. And as I say, as you roll over things, it'll highlight them for you. I just want to give it a white background here. So for those of you that don't know about background CSS, we covered that in the last video. Just have a look at that one. We do background colors and also background images. Okay, so here we've got a little column with some text in it. It looks fine, but you know the text is kind of squashed up to the top and bottom of this box here. It's center aligned, so it doesn't look too bad there. So we want to kind of give it some padding to make it look a bit more stylish. So all we need to do is add padding, P-A-D-D-I-N-G, colon. And again, if we want top and bottom, if we want it to be the same all around, we put just one attribute, so let's put 50 pixels. Now this is giving it, you can see with the greeny color there, 50 pixels padding, top, bottom, right and left. And again, just like we did with the blue section, if we want to just give it padding top and bottom, and a different one for the left and right attribute, we'll give it 2. So let's say 20 pixels. Now it only has 20 pixels left and right, but it still has its 50 top and bottom. You can do them all individually, and it's like a compass, north, east, south, west. It's top, right, left. Top, right, bottom, and left. So we'll give it another 2 attributes. Let's say 30. and 15. So it may look a bit strange, but now we've got 4 attributes. We've got 50 pixels at the top, 20 pixels on the right hand side, 30 pixels at the bottom, and 15 pixels on the left hand side. So let's just put it back to, so it's got 50 pixels each, which kind of looks the best there. But also, if you just want to affect one attribute, you can do individual sides. So I'll just take that off again, and you can say I just want 50 pixels at the top, nothing else anywhere else. You do padding dash top and give it your value. So now we've just got 50 pixels at the top and no padding anywhere else. If I mouse over it, you can see that. Same thing for right, left, and bottom. Now it's just got 50 on the right, and you can change this to left or bottom. So you've got top, right, left, and bottom. If you're going to do them all, you may as well just write it out, padding with the 4 different attributes there. But if you just want to affect one side or another side, you can use padding top, padding right, padding bottom, padding left. So let's get rid of that one and put it back how it was. So that's 50 pixels, which is great. At the moment we're viewing it on a desktop monitor. What if you're viewing it on a smartphone or something? If I just click our device toggle here, you can see it shrinks down to sort of smartphone size. And okay, it looks okay, but however big you make it, it's still going to have 50 pixels padding top, right, bottom, left, because we've got padding 50 pixels. I mean, that's acceptable, but when we get down to the smaller sizes, it may be too much padding left and right here. And you know, unless you know how to write media queries, we'll cover that in a different video. This may not quite be what you want here, but there's an easy workaround for this. If I put it back to full desktop size, instead of using pixels, px right here, we can use a percentage. It's going to be a percentage of the actual screen size. So let's just edit this, and let's say, well, not 50%, let's try 5%. Actually, that's pretty similar to 50 pixels, 5%. That was a lucky guess there. Okay, so we've still got our padding here, but it's just 50%. So basically, oh sorry, 5% of our viewable screen area. Now, if we reduce it down to a mobile size, if I just pull that out, as it reduces down, it's going to stay 5% of the viewable screen rather than an actual pixel rate. So that's a handy thing about using percentages. You see there, it's 5%, and that, although it does look a little bit squash, it's not half as squash as it did look with our pixel value. If I just change it back to show you, it's 50 pixels, isn't it? See, that squashed that down quite considerably. So that's another little feature of padding, and of many elements you can use, margins especially, the percentage rate rather than a pixel rate. That's entirely up to you. If the pixel rate works, use it. If the percentage rate works, use it. It's your site, you build it how you wish. Okay, so this is going to go away when I refresh this, because this is non-destructive and we haven't really saved anything, we've just changed it here. So if you want to make these changes permanent, let's just copy the styles that we've got here, padding 50 pixels. Let's put that back to percent, because I like that 5% better. 5%. And you want to make sure you spell things correctly with CSS all code, or things will not work. And what we're going to do is just copy the two attributes that we've done there. We've got a style sheet. If I bring up this site, here's the actual site folder. Inside it we've got our index.html file, which is the file we're working on. Inside that we've got a little box that says CSS, and I've created this simple cascading style sheet at the bottom here, which is the one we're working on. So if you right click and open that with your brackets software, this brackets is a free text editor. Again, you can download it from a link below. And if we open up our index.html the same way, just right click and open, it'll open up our index.html here. Now if we scroll down, here's our three little boxes we've been working on. I'm going to give them a class. A class is like giving them a name, so that every time we use this name we can apply something to this name. And here's our first little box here. Here's the row that it's in. Here's the first little box. And I'm just going to give it the class of box 1. Why not? So let's just save that. Now if we look at our site, this is actually going to be called box 1. Now let's just refresh this and it'll go back to how it was initially. This is how we started. Let's go back to our code here, box 1. So we need to go to our CSS file. It's in our first section, so it's in our second section rather, so I'm going to put it down here. And we want to hit dot, always a dot or a period. Box 1 is the class we gave it. And what do we want to tell box 1 to do? We want to tell box 1 to have those attributes that we just copied from our browser. So I'm going to hit Control V or right click and paste, just to paste those attributes in there. And also I'm going to do the row. We actually, before we started, we gave the row a padding, the row right there, a padding of 100 pixels top and 10 left and right. So I'll give it an attribute of blue, I guess, because it's a blue section. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm Control S. Want to make sure you save this back to our simple CS. And I'm going to just put an attribute in again in this second section, blue dot blue, and open and close curly brackets. And I'm just going to add that CSS that we added initially, which was padding, and it was 100 pixels top and bottom, and 10 pixels left and right, and semicolon. You always want to put a semicolon after any code you put in, because it will not read the next one if you don't do that. So let's save that, Control S, back to the site. Now when we refresh, that site should go back to how it was. Let's get rid of our inspector here, do a quick refresh. There we have it. It's given our blue section 100 pixels top and bottom, 10 left and right. Then it's given our box 1 our 5% padding on all sides. Now rather than have to edit all of these boxes separately, if we want them all the same, we can just give it the class, the name that we gave this one to tell it what to do. We can give these the same name. So if we give these both the name of box 1, then they'll do exactly the same as our first box here. Let's go back and go to our index.html. There's our class of box 1. Let's just copy it with the gap. Make sure we don't copy the inverted comma there. And copy that class over to our next box. And the third box. Quick save, Control S. Now they've all got the same name, so it's applying that CSS to everything that has this name of box 1. Let's go back to the site. and refresh, and now we should have 3 white boxes that look identical here. There we have it. And you can't see a divider because there's no margin between them, but they're all exactly the same. If I put a, just to demonstrate quickly, we'll do margins in another one because margins are fantastic. You can offset things. So let's just give it a quick margin so you can see the space between them. Box. And we'll give them a margin of 10 pixels. Save that. Back to the site. There we go. And because we've added a margin, we've pushed them over the limit of the size of the box here. So it's dropped down to the next level with Bootstrap. But you can see all our little boxes are the same. So there we have it. There's an example of CSS padding for you. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. If you're interested in web development, take some of our courses below. We've got some great free courses. We've also got some premium courses that are heavily discounted for our subscribers. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and GreatWebDesign.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.